Hey class, so we're going to get started on that complementary scheme I was speaking about earlier, and I've sent you some handouts so you can either do the freehand technique like I'm going to do, or you could use carbon paper to make a transfer from your template. But I'm just going to measure my template with a ruler, and it's a little bit maybe over 3 inches, but I'm just going to make it 3 inches for the length. And I'm using a Conte of Paris pencil, so 3 inches for the length for the first box, and then about 1 inch for the height. And you can just continue that over here for your second box. So again, I'm just measuring 3 inches across and 1 inch this way, about. It doesn't have to be perfect, just to get you started. So again, I measured 3 inches this way and 1 inch that way. And we're going to start with that complementary scheme of red and green. I'll bring that a little closer to you. And this is a chart that shows their relationship. So complementary colors are opposite from each other on the color wheel. So here you see red and green. So I'll hold that up. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better on your screen. So let's start with a warm red. Just try to fill in all those crevices best you can. Smooth it out. Then I'm going to move on to green. And you can use any tone paper you want. I would just stay away from white. Using a medium gray color, that would work. Or if you have an oyster color paper, that would also work. But probably nothing darker than that. I wouldn't do a dark brown or a black. You might not be able to see the colors very well unless they were a lot lighter. So maybe just, you could give it another once over. Try to fill in those crevices. And if you wanted to take a cue, from that historical complementary color, you could do orange and blue also. And on the color wheel, here's orange, here's blue, so again, you can see that they are connected to each other. I don't know how good you can see that. So that's another example. So that's what Van Gogh did in his mulberry tree. So I'm just going to give you another example of a complement. And I'll do the same thing I did here. 3 inches this way. 1 inch to divide it. Another 3 that way. Over that way. So maybe I'll make it a little bit thicker, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a exercise, and it can be good for helping you plan a painting. when you want to have a specific mood for a painting. Now these schemes create a lot of contrast, so probably not a good color scheme if you want something really nice and peaceful. They have a lot of energy because these colors emphasize each other. So I'm going to go on to the next version, which is the blue and orange complement. Give it a little more pressure. Try to fill in those crevices. Try to move over. Hope you can see that. Make sure you have a clean finger. To mix your color with. Give it another pass. Okay, I'll move on to some orange. And it could be bright orange, or it could be more of a, I would say this is a more desaturated orange. It's pretty close to maybe a yellow ochre with a little bit of orange mixed in. See how close I can get to that paint chip color. See how close I can get to that color. So burnt sienna is a little bit of brown and a little bit of orange. I'm getting pretty close. I think this is a somewhat muted orange. I am fairly close to that. So that concludes our complementary color lesson, and the next one we are going to examine will be the analogous scheme, and that will be about the color families, because you can mix green from the yellow and the blue, so they're all part of a family. So we'll go over that portion in the next episode.